This is Dapu 7 with a heads up warning here for what is to come here in the next 30 days. Most people should be aware that within the next month, we have election day coming up on us very fast. And once these votes are in, this is going to shape how the next 4 years of our lives are handled and what path we're going to go down. And these are two very different paths, depending on which leadership is in the White House. And we can sit here and talk about the rigged aspects and the selection aspect of this as well. But in the end, even if there's all kinds of components added to this, there's still two choices in front of us. And it's obvious that they are laying this out as a right side thing and a left side thing. The left-right paradigm, which I always try to tell you and warn you about and to get you to snap out of to see the bigger picture. But in the offing, come election night, when this announcement is made that whoever has won, you can expect to see certain things happen as a reflection of that. If Trump wins, we could see cities getting lit on fire the night of. This has been warned and threatened left and right, as you have Michelle coming out there saying that a majority of these riots have been peaceful, which is not truthful. We know because we've seen and covered this all year long, all the chaos that continues to unravel, all the downtowns that have shops boarded up, all the businesses that have been lost to all of this, that they act like it's never happened. Now, if Biden wins, you better brace yourself for higher taxes. Okay, and what they're also going to roll out is the end of fracking, free tuition, free health care, free child care. But of course, in a socialist scheme, none of this is truly free. Because if you resort back to the first thing he said, that's how it's going to get paid for. Higher taxes. He's not hiding this. Because they're so emboldened and they've got so much hate toward Trump here, he's just putting it out front and center. I'm raising your taxes. And when he said this in front of a crowd, it was crickets. The people were looking around at each other like, are you kidding me? Yeah, this is what you're voting for on that side. And as I see it right now, they could leave this thing hanging in limbo. And this is my biggest fear, is that come election night, regardless if they say Trump won or Biden won, what we're going to see is a series of events that unravel. And you're looking at the back of a truck right here that has mail-in ballots that are set to be for Trump in it. They pick it up and they show it, all these ripped up. You don't think that this scandal is going to play into this election? Of course it is. And it's going to rain big on election night. So my heads up warning to all of you is that yes, you've seen a lot of chaos and madness thus far throughout the year, but you must really get prepared for this election night and for the weeks and months after it. Now, as always, things tend to die off after time. But when they have staged events and things are orchestrated to such a level to where there's political agendas tied into it and everything else, and you're dealing with an election here, don't expect this to go away. They've put a lot into this, and it seems like sowing the seeds of chaos is exactly what some chaos. They benefit from control. Afterward, stripping freedoms, clamping down, the whole nine. I'm going to extend on this over on D Live, so make sure to join me. Going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're talking about stuff you're only going to find over here. The gloves come off, not censored. Links below. Much love.
If my man was wearing this, I would be all over it. That smells really.
It's bars, man. I ain't know this. Yeah. Hey, Shalom. We the Brothers of Great Millstone Church here in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, we want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Kakudash. Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men whom we believe through faith to be raised up here in the latter days, to be the forerunners, if you will, the trailblazers of this word going forth. You brothers out there that's in the spirit of pushing this word forth, continuing the legacy of bringing forth this word Shalom to you. And as always, you believers out there, the Akim as well as the Aqua, that subscribe to this truth as well. So, yep, this sitting right here is going to be entitled The Testimony of Yahawashi. All right, and that's an excerpt from the book of Revelation, the 19th chapter and the 10th verse. Matter of fact, let's just start off with that, you know. And if you haven't gotten the memo, if you're new to this, then this setting is centered around prophecy, meaning we are foreshadowing, we are projecting the things that's going to befall the planet Earth. But hold up, it's clear. See, it started off, it was a point where things looked a little murky, a little cloudy, right? You didn't really see the chip. Hey, there was a time when you had niggas with somewhat of a leg to stand on. Yeah, scoffers and scorners, they was going as far as making parody videos. Remember the infamous video of the chip, Bakwash, where he ate the chip off his hand? You had presentations, people were coming out. But now, you know, you'll be hard pressed to find someone to come up against this idea. Why? Because as the day draws near, you see things clearer. Hey, when you first wake up, right? Somebody wake you up at 5 or 6 in the morning, you still got coal in your eye. You know, you can barely see. But as the day progresses, you see things clearer. And certainly at noonday, right, you see everything clear. Things start to look a little clearer now. See? So the projection of all hell breaking loose here in America is not as such of a foreign idea as one thought. You know, as long as you had access to a remote control, you can watch the games, you know, the NBA playoffs, you can go shopping, you can go to happy hour, right? You can go to the night, hit the night scene, the bars and clubs. Then you felt somewhat compelled to come up against what we said because it really didn't mesh with what you seen. But now you're in the house with a damn mask. In a lot of cases, you see niggas behind a tent with masks. You got to stand 6 feet behind a person, right? So now things is looking more clear. And we told you through the spirit and power of Yahawashi that this place, America, will ultimately be shut down, you know, and the stage will be set for all hell to break loose. So, go ahead, let's get what you got.
God, this Revelation is 19:10. And I fell at his feet and worship him.
Yep.
And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I'm thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi.
Right, the testimony of Yahawashi. Matter of fact, let's look up that word testimony real quick. Look up that word testimony and give me, is that Matthew 19?
What is that?
Well, Lord, he wept over the city.
Oh, Luke. Yeah, Luke 19. Yeah.
Yep. You got that word?
Yeah, they were on testimony. It says on testifying. It says the office committed to the prophets of testifying.
Oh! The office committed to the prophets, right? So the only ones who have the testimony of Yahawashi will be the prophets, man. That would eliminate guys like vocab, which this guy he's not worthy to be mentioned in the same breath. Where we're going, it's just, he's just a guy out there. He a known nemesis. He has been somewhat of a thorn in the side of the prophets. So we just mention him. But even guys with fringes, you don't fall in that category. What prophecy have you prophesied, man? Okay? The reason why we get so much friction because we go out on a limb and we prophesy that all hell is about to break loose. And you got these guys that they want to stay away from the chip. You know why? Because the chip, the very essence of the chip is centered around prophecy. That's why you got guys say, no, it's not the chip, it's Christianity. That's the past. You ever notice everything they try to say the mark of the beast is the past. No, that's Christianity. That's an embargo. Read that again, this definition for testimony.
Yeah, on testimony, it's on Strong's G 3141. It says the office committed to the prophets of testifying concerning future events.
Concerning future events. See that? You got more?
Yeah, there's pretty much it on there.
Those it on that?
You see a record report testimony witness.
Yeah, a record report testimony witness. All right. So go ahead up.
Let's sing Luke 19:41. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it.
Now, who is that that's dealing with Yahawashi? When he came into the city, he beheld it and he wept over it. Now that city right there is symbolic to Israel, man. You know, he didn't weep over the building, the buildings, the temple. He wept over the city. When the scripture said the city, he was weeping over Jerusalem. Right? We're going to tell you why. Go ahead.
Saying, if thou hast known,
go ahead.
Even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong to thy peace.
And what's the things that belong to your peace? What's the things that belong to your peace? This word, man. Okay? This truth is somewhat of a solace and a tranquility, if you find the best words for it, that comes with this truth, man. This is what it creates. It creates peace. So that's why the Lord said, thou hast known, right, the things concerning your peace. Go ahead.
But now they are hid from thine eyes.
Right, they are hid from thine eyes. And that's talking about this information. Go ahead.
For the days shall come.
What?
For the days shall come.
So what was Yahawashi speaking right here? Prophecy, man. For the days shall come. Go ahead.
For the days shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee.
Hey, and that's what's taking place right now. Even though we understand it happened then, this legacy is continuing to this very day. That's going to spill over to now. Oh, case in point, we was reading an article earlier where it said Biden had just pissed off the black community. And the first thing that came to our mind was what? Why is everything geared toward the so-called Negroes, Latinos and Native? Because you can't eliminate the Latinos and Native Americans. Let Bill Gates tell it. The vaccine should be given to not only the so-called Negroes first, but as well as the Latinos and Natives. You can't make this stuff up, man. See that? So that enemy, that same enemy, which is your arch enemy and nemesis, Esau, pursuing the Psalms, the 83rd chapter, he's your main enemy. And when you read throughout the scriptures, it's well documented, going all the way back to the womb. You bump heads with this man. He's going to come after you again. Read that again.
It said, for the days shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in.
Yep, and the trench, matter of fact, look up that word trench real quick. Luke 19. Look up that word trench.
43.
And read that again while you get it.
St. Luke 19:43. It said, for the days shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round.
And compass thee around. They're going to surround you. Go ahead.
And keep thee in.
And keep thee in. That's coming up. That's going into the next lockdown. See, they're going to keep you in. Hey, that happened when you go into the history. That's a military strategy, man. All right? That's a war strategy. When you go into 70 AD, what they did, they kept Israel in, they cut off the supplies of the city, and they starved you out, man. You know? What they're going to do this time? They're going to have you locked up in your house. These houses is nothing more than cells, jail cells in this prison known as Babylon, man. You're going to be locked in your homes. You can't leave, and you're going to be compassed about. See? Did you get that?
Yeah, kind of. It's the word corrupts. We're just going down to the Strong's definition. It says military mound.
You see? See? Military mound. So the Lord is talking about the military. And the reason why that's coming out, we're going to show you in the spirit, right? In this lesson, in this sitting through the spirit and power, Yahawashi, Trump is getting ready to do that again, man. And it's going to be all centered around the coronavirus and the vaccine. All right? This is going to be the gate, if you will, the gateway, the segue to sicken the military on you. Because we didn't make this up, right? Who is the face of the war on the coronavirus? It's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. So that's who the military are going to come after, right? Read that definition again.
It's a military mound for circumvallation in a siege.
In a siege. Woo. So that's what's about to happen again. Okay, the siege is coming to Israel, man. And the Spirit got on us earlier to do a lesson earlier, and we was mentioning the watchman, all right? Well, the watchman warning you of the enemies coming in, okay? So that's what we're doing, and that's what Yahawashi was doing. That's why the title of this sitting is what? The Testimony of Yahawashi. Which we're going to go back to that. We're going to find out what the Testimony of Yahawashi is. But let's read what Yahawashi was saying. Read it again.
It's back St. Luke 19:40.
Now, these are the words of Yahawashi himself. Go ahead.
For the day shall come upon thee.
He prophesied. See, he prophesied right off the bat. The day shall come upon thee, right? Go ahead.
That thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee.
You can't tell me that the so-called white man ain't your enemy, man. If you don't know the so-called white man your enemy, then we don't know what to tell you. It's well documented. 12 Years a Slave. What's some of these movies? Yep, Roots.
Goodbye, Uncle Tom.
Yeah, oh, Goodbye, Uncle Tom. That's a good one. Django. Okay? And just say if you ain't into movies. Well, the Civil Rights Museum. Go there, man. All right, look up some documentaries. Google. Do some research on the dynamic between the so-called white man and the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You'll see that that's your enemy, see? Go ahead.
It says, for the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee.
And we just read that trench has everything to do with that's military terminology. Okay? Go ahead.
And compass thee round and keep thee in on every side.
And again, that's going to happen in this lifetime. You're going to be kept in on every side. They're going to lock you down. And you can't tell me that this is far-fetched because you just experienced being kept in. You just experienced a lockdown. So we're going to go into another lockdown, man. It's going to be more intense. It's going to be amplified. Go ahead.
It said, and shall lay thee even with the ground.
They're going to lay you down.
And the children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knowest not the time.
Because hold up, let's hold on. Come on, man. First of all, because thou knowest not. That's dealing with information, right? You know it's not the what?
The time.
The time. You don't know what time you in, man. You totally out of season. You don't understand that we're in the time of the Lord's wrath. Okay? We're in the time. Matter of fact, give me Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 10. You got something?
Yeah, come on. This is the book of Psalms 64. Let me start at verse 2. This is hiding from the secret counsel of the wicked.
Right. The so-called white man has counseled together, and they have come up with a strategy to come after Jake. And like we mentioned earlier, the article read, Biden has just pissed off the so-called Negroes, the blacks. Why all of a sudden everything is catered around what a nigger feel, a so-called Latino feel? Why everybody's catering? Why are you on a radar? Why the vaccine is geared to you? See, Jake don't see it, man. Because we're in that time. We're in that time where this plan goes all the way back. They didn't just come up with this plan. This plan goes all the way back to Esau. Let's prove that. Give me Genesis 27.
This is the book of Genesis.
This secret counsel, right? It actually goes back to Esau. The direct, you know what? Give me Ezekiel. Go to the blue letter on this. Okay. Give me Ezekiel 35, where it says the perpetual hatred, and look up that word perpetual. We're gonna show you how far this plan go back. This is not a plan Trump just came up with, or the elites here in this lifetime just came up with. We're gonna get after this. This plan goes all the way back. All right, we're gonna show you that. Go ahead, give me this.
This is the book of Genesis 27, verse 41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart.
In his what?
In his heart.
In his heart. That's the plan. It's not a plan of thought. Before you do anything, you think it out. The penitentiary graveyard packed with niggas who thought, a crazy thought. When he hit this lick, you pull up, you wait on me, and then now he's jammed up. But it started with a thought. And on the flip side, the big inventions and things that you see today, it started with a thought. This devil coming after you started with a thought, and we going into the humble beginnings of that thought. Read that again.
Okay, this is the book of Genesis 27 and verse 41.
Yep.
It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart.
See? He said in his heart. Go ahead.
It says, the days of warning from my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
See that? Right? So now let's get this.
Because Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred
Uh-huh.
and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
Yep, in the time of the calamity, go ahead.
In the time that their iniquity had an end.
Uh-huh.
So this there.
Now the scriptures say that Esau had a perpetual hatred for Jacob. So let's look up this word perpetual.
So this that word perpetual. It says long duration.
See, so this hatred, it didn't just start in his lifetime.
Uh-huh.
This is a long duration. All right, this devil been plotting and scheming. And when you consider a hunter, right, when you from a micro perspective, a hunter wait on your ass all day. A hunter sit up in the tree all day and wait on the prey. So I imagine Esau, he been waiting for generations to get you, man. See that? Read that again.
It says a long duration, antiquity, forever, everlasting, perpetual.
Look up that word antiquity real quick.
There's that word antiquity.
Uh-huh.
And it reads, the quality of being ancient. Ancient time.
Ancient times. So this plot, this hatred, this diabolical plan to get rid of Israel is nothing new. This is not a modern marvel. This ancient, man. This goes all the way back to the womb. See? So you see how serious this thing is, man? Once the Lord step out the side and let Esau loose, man, this man gonna get off on getting you, man. Because it's woven in his very fabric. Right? Go ahead, Op. You got more on the definition?
No,
All right, come. All right, you got something?
Oh, no, I ain't.
All right, come on.
Back in Psalm 64.
Read it Genesis 27 one more time, then we'll go with that.
Genesis 27, verse 41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob,
right,
because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart.
See, in his heart, in his mind, which goes back to his counsel. When you equate this to today, right, this is dealing with his counsel and his heart and his mind. And let's see what he said. Go ahead.
It says, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
See that? So now you can go back to where you was at.
Yeah, this book of Psalms 64 and verse 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Yep. Read this again.
It's Psalms 64 and verse 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
See, from the secret counsel of the wicked. Again, a counsel is a secret. When someone a counsel, man, you know that word might sound, but a counsel is nothing more we can say. It's like a huddle. Instead of you playing football, you see the opposing team going to a huddle. That's a counsel. And the overtone of that counsel is secrecy, man. See? Hey, even this counsel right here is secret. Even though it's public, it's out there, but it's only for, that's why it's known as the secret place of the Most High. So a counsel is secret. That's where you gather your thoughts. Then you come up with a plan only to execute it. So this devil, his counsel is geared towards Israel. We the obstacle in his way for him ruling. See that? Read that again.
This book of Psalms 64 and verse 2, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, who whet their tongues like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
See, who whet their tongue, right? Read that again.
It says, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
See that? And those bitter words is dealing with the decrees, pretty much the rhetoric. All right, the news. What's in the news right now? Well, you in the news, the so-called Negro Latino in there, like we saw today. That article, man. Joe Biden pisses off the Negro. Man, get out of here, man. That's the man wetting his tongue to, with bitter words. Okay, you got more on that?
Yeah, a little bit more. Verse 4, it says that they may shoot in secret.
See, that they may shoot in secret. See, does that a hunter go about that approach? Yeah, these devils, they'll sit up in a goddamn tree, one of these tree stands, and they'll shoot in secret at deers. They can easily, man. Hey, man, the scripture's bad, man. Esau can easily jump out with an M16 and just mow down deers. But where they get a thrill from? Hunting in secrecy. You know, a snare, hide in the shadows and shooting in secret. Well, that's what they doing to Israel. We to pray, man, for these devils, right? Go ahead.
It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Oh, and it's gonna happen suddenly, man. You're gonna go from you're gonna be a day removed from watching the finals or some shit, and then all of a sudden Esau kicking in your door, man. Then you're gonna remember, you're gonna be pricked by the words of the prophets, man. And that day, that's when Ezekiel, we're gonna get to that too, man. Okay? When Ezekiel 33 and 33 gonna kick in. That's gonna be activated. Because the scripture is activated, you know. You got something else?
Yeah, kind of something bad there, like you said, we to pray. This is the book of Psalms 10 and verse 8. It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Yep, his eyes are privily set against the poor, man. Right, so privately, this man is plotting and scheming, you know? He's coming up with war strategies, and we just read in Luke, which we're going to go back there, right? We still got that on deck, while our Lord Yahawashi prophesied this. So you think the Lord prophecy ain't going to, even though we know all this is the Lord's prophecy, but you think it's a coincidence, Yahawashi prophesied what's going to happen now, man. So you don't know that the Lord is that's the preacher. That's Solomon. You know? All right, go ahead.
It's on St. Luke.
One more verse.
Go ahead.
One more verse. It says, he lied and wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lied and wait to catch.
Oh, as a lion in his wet?
A lion in his den.
In his den. That's the counsel, man. Look up that word den real quick. Let's see what it, you know. Hey, spirit, you know, hey, that's what we do over here, man. We're going to words, right? That's how you get understanding. Let's just see what it says out of curiosity. The lion in his den. He lied and wait in his den.
It says a layer cover.
Layer.
Evil layer.
Yeah. That sounds like that's some sinister, like a damn Dracula.
Yeah.
Come out of his lair. Right?
It says a covered den, pavilion, tabernacle.
Which on the left hand side, that's a secret place. So in his den, in his secret place, right? He's plotting on you, man. And that's what most of war strategies, that's what all the war, you don't plot on the battlefield. You ain't on the battlefield coming up with a plot. No, you come up with the plot before you execute it and put it in motion. Like just like we mentioned football, you know, you're not calling the play on the fly. You running with the ball. No, the play is in, you know, before the play is brought into motion. You get the plot, the plan from the sideline. They send in the play, then you execute it, man. From the huddle. So this devil has already for generations, going all the way back, has been plotting on the way to overthrow Jacob, man. See that? And it's going to be by way of what? Yep, the King Alpha plan. Through his military. Through his military, man. Because Esau's blessing is a sword. See?
That's it.
So now, give me what you got, huh?
God, this William Solomon.
Hold up before you get that, Salakia. Give me Revelation 12 and 12.
Okay. This is the book of Revelations 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
All right, so now give me what you got.
This William Solomon 10 and 10. When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath.
See, when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, who is this brother right here? It's Esau, man. We just read in Genesis the 27th chapter where this man said, look, the days of mourning for my father is over. I'm going to slay my brother Jacob. But the scriptures outline the fact that he said this in his heart. So this was his plan. See, this man's plan is to bring a drummer, man, in the form of his military, in the form of his sword. Right? Read that again.
It says, when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him in right paths, showed him the kingdom of the Most High, and gave him knowledge of holy things, made him rich in his travails, and multiplied the fruit of his labor.
So wisdom, the proper knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the scriptures is going to guide us and navigate us from out of the clutches of this man. Hey, you ever notice like these different animals, they get put to death, they're docile. Give me Proverbs 1:17. You know, a damn animal just going, you know, Esau waiting, bang. You know, verses, well, let's get the scripture on it.
Yeah, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, and verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
Read that again.
It says, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
So you have a hunter that might lay a snare, lay a trap, you know, and in this case, a net. Well, if it's in the sight of a bird, then you laying that trap in vain. So here we are. We see everything that you're doing. We know what you're doing. The brother just put up, look, okay, check it out. The brother put up the list: Operation Hot Musket, Operation Warp Speed, Project Megiddo, Him. You can look up these. You can look up all that. Garden Plot, right? The Executive Order 13603, man. Those strategies, those are war strategies, man. That's going to be put into motion.
Just going back to what you said, like football players. Say spot or two out them different routes.
They
supposed to run and shit. That's them just football players. You know?
The student body, you know. Motherfucker, you know what I mean? Toss right, you know what I mean? Those are the plays. Esau got this thing lined up, man. It's laid out, man. See that?
I mean, it's like I say, all here from the break loose, like in football. Yeah, I know your first 10 plays you're gonna call, man.
Yeah, scripted.
It's already scripted.
Your first 15 plays scripted. And you got to be able to withstand that onslaught. That's why coaches get paid a lot of money. You're able to withstand. Hey, that's a flurry of. You know, you don't know what's coming. Motherfuckers got played scripted. They've been watching film on you. That's these devils, man. They know you. What you think Fagos is all pork skins in your hood is all about, man? That's because he know his enemy. This man knows certain foods you eat, your cholesterol gonna shoot through the roof, man. That's why your grandma's toe got cut off. Because this man, he watched the film on you and he know exactly how to attack you. It's just like sports. Oh, this nigga got a weak linebacker court. So we're going to, attack the middle of the, we're going to spread them out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this devil has done. This devil has strategically come up with a war strategy over generations and generations, and is now going to go into play. And that's why Yahawashi, you go ahead, y'all got precept. We're going to go back to Luke 19. All right? You got something?
Yeah. This is St. Luke. I'm just like it. This Psalm 140, and I start at verse 4. Psalm 140 and 4. It says, "Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man."
Right, in the hands of the wicked, really is going into his military. You know, that's his helper, right? His military. That's his blessing, right? Go ahead.
Who have purposed to overthrow my goings.
Yeah, who have purposed to overthrow us. Meaning this is a strategy, man. You know? This was purpose. This was strategically put together. Right? Like we mentioned. The mere fact, you remember the old movie, what's that? I think it was not Menace to Society, was it? Well, you had Larry Fishburne, and he said he was talking to everybody, Boys in the Hood. We was like, ask yourself, why is a liquor store, some shit like that? And he was on to something, and it's true. That's why, for example, you got a Church's Chicken. I don't know about all the other cities, but you got a Church's Chicken somewhere in your hood. You don't see that shit over there in Mount Brook. You don't see that, man. You got a rallies, a nigga walk up from rallies. You can tell when the nigga bag and he walked up and got that, man. Nigga bag rolled up. All these things in the hood, man. See that? That's purpose. Yep. That was strategized. That's not random right there, man. Oh, the way they got it set up with child support, not child support, but that too, but Section 8. Section 8, right? You can't have the man around. In order for you to get the benefits of Section 8, the man got to be out of the house. You think that's just some random shit? That's this devil, man, seeking you out. This devil, he sought out everything. He know you, man. Or the scriptures encourage you to know your enemy, right? But this devil know you, right? And this devil know that the structure of the house starts with the man. That's who the Lord dealing with, right? And through that, the woman and child is blessed. So what Esau did, Esau got rid of the man. He threw a wedge in between the man and the woman, man. Nobody really ever talk about the friction between you and your woman, man. That was set up by Esau, man. When your woman don't trust you, you don't trust her, then she go to the enemy. Then you just out there. And the Israelite man is looked down upon, man. See that? So that in itself is a downward spiral. But now we're in a time where God is raising us up. But Esau, he know that. He know if you take the man out the house, that's like a formula. By then, what happens? The daughter becomes a whore, right? And the son becomes effeminate. You know, now he got on some skinny leg jeans with a 40 cal. He gonna shoot you because he's overly emotional. That's a nigga is a creation of Esau. That's like Frankenstein. You know, you go in the lab, you put this in there, then this motherfucker come out as Frankenstein. But that's what Esau did to create a nigga. Put honeycombs in the house, cartoons. Now you got a nigga.
So real quick.
Hey, go ahead.
Psalm,
nigga in flip-flops. Go ahead,
it is Psalm 64:6. It says they search out iniquities.
See? See? Go ahead.
They accomplish a diligent search.
They accomplish a diligent search. This man searched you out, man. Esau, that's Esau's desire. His whole being is to take down Jacob, man. That's why we read earlier in Genesis. But see, people don't understand what's going on. But you're gonna know. You're gonna know in a minute, right? And again, we're gonna get around to we're gonna get around to this information we want to bring out to y'all. All right, go ahead.
It says both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart.
Oh, they go to inward thought and heart. That's not just talking about a damn Edomite, sitting back thinking. That's dealing with his secret counsel. Read that again.
It says they search out iniquities.
See, they search out iniquities. Go ahead.
They accomplish a diligent search.
Right. They know that pork. You think it's a coincidence? Think about all the meat you can eat here. A giraffe is lawful, if I'm not mistaken, right? Big as a giraffe, and you can feed people. Yeah. But why have a pig? Why do they make a pig a delicacy? Or lobster and shrimp? Yeah. Niggas feel as if they made it. Niggas, I'm at Red Lobster. You know what I mean? Nigga, man, you eat shrimp, lobster, and pork. Those foods, according to the dietary law, is detestable, man. Right? But Esau made it a delicacy. That's because he searched out a diligent search. He know you, man. He know that these foods is going to contribute to killing you. See? Yeah. Go ahead.
It says both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Yep. And the heart and the inward thought of them is deep. The inward thought is your secret counsel. See that? So now let's go. Motherfucker eating shrimp and shit like that, man. Crab and lobster, like the brother put bottom feeders. And they gave you all the things, they give you all the animals that's really the trash can. Yeah. Like the pig is the trash can of the earth. And shrimp and lobster and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They bottom feeders in the sea. Yet they gave it to you as a delicacy. They did that. Why? Because they know that this is going to contribute to the diminishing of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is all about. Yep. Shalom, Zaquan. Yep.
Come back in that Luke.
Yep. So let's go back here.
Come, this St.
Let's
Luke.
go back to that definition right here before we get into the information.
St. Luke 19, I'm going to start at 43. It said, for the days shall come upon thee,
Mm-hmm.
that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and cast thee and compass thee around.
So Yahawashi was prophesying right here. He said, the days shall come upon you where your enemies is going to set a trench about thee. Let's go into this word trench one more time.
The word trench. It says military mound.
Military mound. So Esau is going to do what he do. Esau is not going to deal with you diplomatically. Esau is not going to come to you with some type of what would you call it, a meeting point or grounds of working it out, meet you halfway. No, they're going to come with what they know best. Their instinct's going to kick in. They're going to bring forth the sword. Of a porcupine field in danger, the heat get his thistle's going to come up. That's the same with Esau. He's going to put that military on your ass. See? Well,
it says a military mound for a circumvallation in their siege.
That's what's finna come, siege. So now continue what Yahawashi said.
It says, for the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground.
Yep.
And
don't lay you down. You know, that's a saying amongst Jake. Man, I'll lay you down, man. You know, that's what Yahawashi said. Look, they're going to lay you down, man. And again, we understand that was fulfilled, you know, in 70 AD. But these words ring true to this very day. Okay, go ahead.
It said, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knowest not the time of thy visitation.
Right, you don't have understanding. You don't. We know the time of our visitation, but you're not going to know the time. Like I said, through the spirit, you're going to be a day or two removed from the NBA playoffs or some shit, and Esau right there with the sword, man. So now, let's get what you got. You got a precept? All right, come on, let's get into this.
So this is from militarytimes.com.
Damn.
And it reads, Trump says the military could distribute experimental virus treatment he hails for his recovery.
Right. So you got the treatment for the vaccine. It's not going to be a guy in a lab coat to pop up at your crib, man. It's going to be the military. And we showed y'all last night through the spirit. We might have to go, we have to frame, we have to open up every video with that, man. As we move closer to all hell breaking loose, man. Yep. We showed last night. You had she was an elderly lady, Edomite chick. She said, look, I don't want you coming out in the damn trooper. He rushed her ass, man, and slammed her to the ground. Then they cuffed her and drug outside, man. See? That's what's going to pop up at your door. A bunch of whacked out psycho military men. See?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says Donald Trump on Wednesday credited.
It's a Donald Trump on Wednesday.
Yeah, this came out yesterday.
This came out yesterday, man. This is what's taking place right now. This is the stage being set, man. The pieces is being put beautifully by Yahawashi. Right. See, we applaud this, man. You know? This is the Lord doing this thing. The Lord is springing into action, man. See, they thought it was a game. They thought that we was just a bunch of disgruntled guys cursing everybody out. But what you're going to come to find out, this is a work of Yahawashi, man. Right. And he putting his sword in play. Go ahead.
It said Donald Trump on Wednesday credited an experimental drug treatment with helping with his recovery from COVID-19 and said the military would distribute the drug to hospitals nationwide.
What the hell the military got to do it for? Because the sword has been drawn. The Lord have drawn out his sword. Give me Psalms real quick. We're going to go back here. The Lord have now drawn out his sword, man. Matter of fact, give me John the Baptist, the axe. You're going to find out that's the same thing. Go ahead.
This book of Psalms 17 verse 13. It says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast them down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Which is thy sword. So the Lord is poised to make one last proverbial swing at you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out there. It's going to be by way of his sword. Esau is a necessary evil, man. Esau just here, man. Think this technology, this military, just here for decoration. And you're going to just continue to make rap videos. You're going to upload some shit on World Star Hip Hop. No, man, that sword is there waiting on you. Matter of fact, go ahead.
Yeah, this is St. Matthew 3. I'm going to start.
And this right here, this go out to those that are circumcised right here.
Yep. St. Matthew 3 and verse 9. It said, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that the Most High is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham.
Hold on, let's read this again.
God, this is St. Matthew 3 and 9. And think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father.
And that's what you guys do. You know, you find out you're an Israelite, you think that this is a festive approach. You know, you throw on some fringes, and you might come up with a Hebrew, you know, that's nigga come up with a Hebrew Israelite name. That's it then. You can't tell them nothing. You know what I mean? And then you hang your hat on knowing that you're an Israelite, and that's it. Well, John the Baptist said, think not to, matter of fact, read that again.
God, it said, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father.
See, just because which is a beautiful thing that you're an Israelite, but you said, okay, just because I'm an Israelite, it's downhill from there. Nope. The anger of the Lord still kindled against Israel, man. See, go ahead.
For I say unto you that the Most High is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees.
Ooh, what's the axe? The axe is Esau, man. The axe is the weapon, the sword. Matter of fact, let's prove that real quick. Give me Isaiah 10.
Kind of quick one, real quick.
Go ahead.
It's like this. This is the book of Jeremiah 9, verse 25. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised."
Yeah, so just because you circumcised, you know that you're an Israelite, that's not going to somehow quell the anger of the Lord. You know? That's somehow the way that's going to somehow counter. You got your friend, you know, oh, we started to do it. That shit had me pissed, man. What is that? Cold Cuts. He had the t-shirt on. He's doing the video, you know, got down the Wendy's earset, and he had on his shirt, got fringes. See what I'm saying, man? See that? But guess what? That's not going to offset the anger of the Lord, man.
God, yep.
Read that again. That's beautiful.
This is the book of Jeremiah 9 and 25. "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will
The
punish."
prophecy again. The prophecy, the testimony of Yahawashi. See, it's like this, believe it or not. You know, that's the thing, like, you know. Go ahead.
It says, saith the Lord, that I will punish all they which are circumcised with the uncircumcised.
Yep, so you're going to die the death of an infidel, which is no honor in that. You're going to die. Those of you who are circumcised in the heart, who know that you're Israel, you're going to die the death of the uncircumcised, man. See? Let's show you how much the Lord look at that. You got to be numbered amongst the Lord's elect, man, to qualify for their salvation. See? So that's it?
That's it.
All right.
This is the book of Isaiah 10 and 15. Shall the axe boast itself?
See? Shall the axe boast itself? So all of you who know what's going on, you know what this scripture talking about. They're talking about Esau. So that's what John the Baptist talking about. Even though we know that the Lord is ready, that's symbolic for the Lord cutting Israel off, but it's a more, you know, it's levels to that, man. The Lord ain't gonna come down off his throne. The Lord didn't have to come down off his throne to package you and put you in a damn ship and bring you over his cargo. Lord, you Esau to do that. That's why the scriptures say, if you be in adversity, you'll find him there first. Who was always on the scene of the crime? It was Esau. 70 AD, Esau was there. Now you might say, well, hold up, what about the Babylonians? Esau was still there because he was saying no. He was standing in the way. Go ahead.
It says, shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the sword magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as it were no wood.
Right. So the Lord lifted Esau up. And all these different, you notice what's the common thread there? All these different instruments is really weapons, man. And you know what? They're graphic.
Bludgeon
you to death. Motherfucker chasing you with a chainsaw or saw, man, or axe. Tell you, an axe. You walking out, nigga waiting on you with an axe. You just rather want to get the scrap.
Yeah.
Oh, we got an axe, man. Let's show you, man. See?
That's it.
That's a more vivid illustration. That's what Esau is. Esau is the weapon. It goes back to Quayan, the spirit, man. All right, so you can go back to the St. John.
All right, come back to St. John 3 in verse 10 again. It says, and now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore, every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
That's it. Yep. All right, give me what you got.
This is the book of Ezekiel 21 and verse 3. And say to the land of Israel, thus saith the Lord, behold, I am against thee, and will draw forth my sword.
Yep, the Lord said he's going to draw forth his sword, man. What's that sword? It's levels. All right, that sword is going to begin with Esau. It's ultimately going to end with the destruction. And that's why we just read right there where the Lord said he's going to cut you down, then cast you in the fire. See? So that's the same thing. It's levels. The Lord going to send forth Esau, going to put hell on you. All hell going to break loose. Then the destruction coming. See? Go ahead.
It says, and I will draw forth my sword out of his sheath, and will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked.
Yep. All right, so come on.
Back in this article. All right, this back in the article. It says Trump made the assertions in a video posted to Twitter Wednesday. Trump has also suggested in the past that the military will help distribute a vaccine when one becomes available. The Pentagon did not immediately respond to the request for comment. It says about 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the video, Trump says, we're going to get you. The drug is going to be free. We're going to get it into the hospitals as soon as we can.
What's going on here, man? You know what I'm saying? Real talk, like, man, why are you so adamant about getting the drug? It's free all of a sudden. You never got nothing free, man. Asthma pumps and all this shit. Maybe that's shit, man. All of a sudden, they want to give you something free, man. But I'm gonna give it to you by the military. You better take it. Fuck out of here. Yeah, go ahead.
It says we're going to get it into the hospitals as soon as we can, and you'll see some amazing things happen. Our military is doing the distribution. It's called logistics. And they deliver hundreds of thousands of troops. And they deliver hundreds of thousands of troops in a matter of days. This is easy stuff for them. Let me see.
Why the military got to do it? Because this all falls under the banner of biblical prophecy, man. We're in a time where the Lord's about to send forth the sword. Okay? The Lord is brewing up this drama, man. The Lord is instigating, manipulating what you're about to see. Okay? And when you go back into the history, like recent history, because 70 AD would be considered recent history. If you really, got a feel for history. That was a date. Well, hold on now. It was the last days. The last days started 2,000 years ago. Well, guess what? The military came upon Israel, man. See? He said that's logistics.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this definition for logistics real quick. You got some more over there?
I'm trying to see.
Okay, Con. Just to throw this out there, logistics. It says the detailed coordination of a complex operation involving many people, facilities, as some concentration camps, or supplies, man. See? It says the organization of moving, housing, and supplying troops and equipment, the commercial activity of transporting goods to customers. So this devil is going to do that by way of the only thing he know how to do it. The only way this devil know how to move is with the sword. That's his blessing, man. That's a part of his DNA. It was woven in his very fabric to wield that sword, man. Okay? So we don't marvel at that. We understand that this is how this man is coming.
Yep.
You know?
That's pretty much
it. You got something?
Yeah, Con, this is the book of Psalms 14 verse 7. It says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness.
Let's like it. Read that again.
Sirach 14 verse 7. It says, and if he doeth good,
right, if this man doeth good, which everything is under the banner of doing good to you with the vaccine. You know, like you got this nigga Bill Gates, their whole thing is why should the poor have to wait? You know, get the fuck out of here, man. Like you're doing us a favor, you know? So it said, if he doeth good, go ahead.
It says he doeth it unwillingly.
Go ahead.
And at the last,
right? That's dealing with prophecy. That's the time we're in now. We're in the latter days, man, of this man's society. And he's gonna go out with a bang. This is gonna be a hard transition into the world to come. The kingdom of heaven will be ushered in through violence and bloodshed and the sword. See that? Go ahead, huh?
It says, and at the last, he will declare his wickedness.
He can't even hide himself anymore. Oh, and that's what Jeremiah 49. This man has been exposed. You can't even hide yourself. You know, once those thistles, you might think that porcupine was a gerbil or some shit. But once those thistles come out, you can't hide yourself. You know? Yeah, go ahead. That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, kind. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this book Psalm 124 and 1.
Right, so we coming into heavy times. That's it. Beautiful yet dangerous times. You got IUIC, they got wedding promos, promotional use only. You got HOI, smoke screens. You know, build a house. We got a couple of acres left. So all this is on the banner of being an Israelite. So you got people who have been downtrodden, you know, robbed, spoiled. Now they hit at their Israelite. Yeah, that's beautiful, right? But it's really dangerous. It's dangerous. See, when you're in your right mind, you know, damn, I'm hot. I'm hot. I'm an Israelite. Everybody want to kill me. And I do got enemies, Psalms 83. And I got a psycho, crazy-ass enemy, man, in Esau. And on top of that, the Lord himself has a controversy, you know, with the 2/3 of Israel. You got to remember, it's written that the Lord gonna get the 2/3, man. See, and also the scripture said the Lord gonna start at the sanctuary, so nobody's safe. Can't take a deep breath. You know, the day, you know, and I'm pretty sure all you can attest out that are serious minded, who spiritually invested in this. The day when you feel yourself levitating off the ground and going to meet Yahawashi, that's it. That's it. Okay? But until then, you know, we pray that the Lord have mercy on us. Why? Well, let's read.
God, this Psalm 124 and 1. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side.
See, nothing you can do. The reason why we're here right now, you know, the reason why you got hope is because the Lord is on our side. We're going to see why it's of importance for the Lord to be on your side, right? Go ahead.
Now may Israel say.
Let's see if it had anything to do with a guy in a red spandex suit. And that's how they promote the devil, though. The one that, you know, the Christianity promote. Vocab believe in that. He believe in a guy in a spandex suit with horns and a triton, a pitchfork, with a goatee, a neatly shaved goatee, and a pointed tail. That's, you know what I mean? Yeah. But we're going to see if the Lord being on your side is an effort to keep you from that guy. Let's see who is all the effort to keep you from. What?
If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up.
When what?
When
men rose up against us. See, when men rose up against. Let's read this again.
It said, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us.
And that's not a hard concept to digest. Was it not men who hung you? Hey, that was graphic. What they did to us with the castrate, just if you haven't been exposed to this guy, this brother. Google what his name? Claude Neal.
Yeah, Claude.
Google Claude Neal and see who you should be wary of. A guy. Hold up. You lying on that? I mean, you could be lying on that guy. I gotta die to see what's going. I gotta die first to see what that dude is about. You could be lying on that dude. I know who fucked us over, man. I know him. I know who hung us, man. I know who crash scraped us, man. Raped, ravaged, butchered us, man. It was Esau. It was the so-called white man. Oh, you got images of them devils. They got on Mark. This is not no ancient shit. They got on button-down shirts.
Yeah.
Bill Baxby hats, top hats, and slacks and shit like that. And they watching you hang, man. See? So that's what the scripture's saying right here. Read it again.
It said, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us.
Hey, and that deals with the floods. Give me Isaiah 59. A flood rises up. The tide of the flood. And it really got to do with the seasons. The moon. You know, the moon makes the flood rise. We coming into a season where this man is going to rise up against you. Hey, it's bad because they know you can do it. It's his season to do so. And that's the same with that the Lord lead that example. You know, you had the moon, the full moon, then you had the sea, the tides to get restless. They begin to rise up. See, the rising tides. See? Go ahead and read that real quick.
This is the book of Isaiah 59 verse 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west when his enemy slacking. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun when the enemy shall come in like a flood.
Read this again.
This Isaiah 59:19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun when the enemy shall come in like a flood.
When the enemy shall come in like a flood, man. That's what Trump telling you in the spirit. That's what he said. We're gonna put, hey, that vaccine real. That's a life, that's a game changer right there. The vaccine, motherfuckers come, like I was telling the brothers, man, I might be careful, I don't know if I should even say this, man. They might shut the, you know? But I was telling y'all about the mother come to the door, I was looking through the peephole at that nigga, man.
Little beard, like
yeah, a little beard, you know? I thought it looked like him, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? They're gonna pop up with the military, man. The vaccine real, man. This is Esau's last ditch effort. This is the desperation of the so-called white man. It's not gonna die down. Okay? It's not gonna die down. Then Esau gotta regroup and come up with they ain't got time for that. The scriptures tell you that they have but a little time. They have formulated this. This is the thing. That's why you got everybody with masks on. That's what they compromised billion-dollar sports like the NFL and shit like that. That's big boom. They said, fuck all that, man. Fuck that money shit. You see the desperate, they fuck money and all that. We gotta, this is life and death right here. Because if these niggas, if they rise up and take us overtake us, we fuck, man. That's why when you read Genesis, the 4th chapter, they give you somewhat a glimpse into that sense of urgency. Because what Cain said, he said, if anyone find me, that's it. That's what I was looking for. My punishment is greater than I can bear, man. These devils know that the punishment that's written, the judgment written, the decree, man, come on, man. Who can handle that? We're going to beat the shit out. Esau going to catch hell, man. They're going to lose everything. All that. You finna say something?
Oh, no, you got it.
You know? So that's desperation mode. This devil got his foot on the pedal. This nigga throwing Hail Marys. He done threw the playbook out the...
Everybody just go deep.
Hey, go deep, man. See? Yep, go ahead.
I'll read this again. This is the book of Isaiah 59:19. It says, so shall I fear the name of the Lord from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun when the enemy shall come in like a flood.
Now, another reason why the flood is known, the enemy is known as a flood, right, is because a flood is overwhelming. A flood, and you're gonna be overwhelmed, man. Look, man, all of us gonna feel some type of way. You're gonna be nervous. Goddamn troops running in your shit, or you the target. All right, these devils saying, look, especially those of us who know what time it is. This devil tell you, nope, they're trying to give you the vaccine. We know, that in a lot of cases, they're going to be a build up to the prelude to the chip. And we understand Revelation, the 14th chapter, the penalty that comes with taking the chip. Also, we know that the Lord says it's going to be himself that's going to keep you from that hour. See? So you can't come up with a plan. We're gonna have a rural area, a land or a basement, somewhere we're gonna have from these devils. No, man. You're gonna be the Yahawashi outside to keep us from that. And that's what we're gonna go back to that. Go ahead.
It says, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against
us. That's the balance. That's our hope. We're in the time of the standard being lifted, being set. It's gonna be a standard, right? When you go into that word standard, is heaven, man. And you know what? We ain't gonna go into it, man. You know what? Because why? This ain't for the faint-hearted, man. This ain't just for the casual Israelite, man. All right? The things the Lord is about to get ready to do, man, you got to be really locked in low. You got to be locked in the spirit. You got to be rooted and grounded in Yahawashi, man. See, what we have tapped into, this ain't of the earthly realm, man. We got expectations. We preparing our mind to be delivered in spectacular ways. The Lord ain't gonna deliver you. Oh, that's another thing. You ain't gonna be delivered in a conventional way. The Lord ain't gonna leave it up to where somebody say, hey, that was good thinking, bro. No, we together.
Man, God,
ain't nobody gonna get the glory but the Lord. It ain't gonna be, let's say we together, they come. Right. And I tell you, hey, brother, hit the back door. It ain't gonna be like that. It's like, man, that was good. You saved us. That was good. No. The Lord gonna work, man. That's right. We gonna, you know what? Go and click on that word, man. Click on that word, man. The Lord say gonna lift up a standard. Let's see what that word going into, man. See, hey, and this ain't, again, this ain't for low-level Israelites, entry-level Israelites. We have just tapped into, the power of the power of Yahawashi. And it's nothing hidden, because the Lord don't shy away from showing it. You think the Lord, come on, man. The Lord never shied away from showing the power. What you think the story of Daniel is all about? Or, Egypt.
I was just thinking, because to say something too, the Lord set it up where it looked like it was a dead end, but that east wind, you had to be patient for that east wind. It took all night for the water to split, man. So the Lord, he ain't shying away from showing his power. The Lord gonna show his power, man. He did on the left side with Esau. This nigga got airplanes and goddamn all these different type of weaponry. You don't think the Lord's gonna got something to combat that, man?
Yep. That's it. Yep. Good.
This is the word standard. Strong's H.
Because again, the Lord said he's gonna lift up a standard. But the standard that, like you just said, he's gonna combat the flood.
That's it.
And that's just like what happened in Egypt. I mean, the flood, where the Lord split, he said the east wind, because the flood is overwhelming, man. Right? So it's going to take the Lord himself to make a way through that. Yep. See? Go ahead.
It says, Strong's 8:51-27, it says to flee, to escape.
To flee from what? Esau, man. To escape, right? But it's not gonna be because you the fastest guy. Your friend is your friend is flying. You know what I mean? No, man. Go ahead.
It says to take flight.
Woo! To take flight. It's gonna be instances, and like I said, that's why I didn't really to take flight, man. Gonna have brothers to take flight out of there. Now we know flight means to flee. But also the Lord is gonna, matter of fact, let's continue.
Yeah. It says to take flight, depart,
to
disappear.
Depart. To what?
Disappear.
To what?
Disappear.
Disappear. Now when you read when Yahawashi was compassed about, they was looking to throw the Lord off the mountain. The Lord disappeared, man. And did not the Lord say, he that believe on me, the things, the miracles that I've done, he's gonna do an even greater? Yeah. It's gonna be time when them devils gonna be closing in on you. Look, I'm gonna say this too. We at the beginning. We might have to go. We did something on it a while back. this is the beginning. What was the title of that? No, it was this is I forgot how we framed it, but not this is only the beginning, but
Damn.
we're at the beginning. We're not. Oh, we're ahead. We're coming. We're going into the beginning.
Coming into the beginning. Yeah,
We're not coming into the end.
Yeah.
We coming to the end of Esau society, but we're really coming into the beginning.
Yeah,
We're coming into the beginning of the Lord showing His power once more, man. His favor amongst Israel and showing Himself, working a work in the midst of Israel. We just not getting into the beginning of that. So with that said, it's going to be situations, scenarios where brothers they're going to be encamped. They're going to be closing in on you, man, and then the Lord going to make you become invincible. I had a dream about that. I told y'all about that, man. And it was a vision. It was really a vision because it was dealing with the Gurkha troops. The troopers was coming, you know, and they was walking by, and one of the troopers took his helmet off. I thought the troop was finna get me. He walked by me, he stopped, and then he looked at me. You know, it was dramatic, man. And he took a helmet off, and it was a Jake with a beard, man. He told me, he said, they can't see you, man. Real talk. I actually did a video about it, you know, on my initial channel. All right? But that's spoken of in the scripture when we read it. When the Lord says going to lift up a standard, you're going to actually disappear, man. The Lord's going to be working a work, man. You're going to have a situation where angels going to pop up, you know. You're going to know they angels. They're going to tell you straight up, let's go. And that's recorded. Remember with Peter?
Yeah.
See, and like the brother said, the Lord is going to have the dramatics as well. Back in Egypt, they had to wait patiently for that east wind to, you know, and they had to be patient. So it might be a situation where you get caught up. You might get rounded up. They might gather you. They might take you. Yeah. Then the Lord will deliver you out of that. And that's written in the scripture. That happened with Peter. They happened with Paul as well with it. Stocks. So, you know, we're in beautiful times. You have something you want to say?
Yes, real quick. Because in that time, you're going to need a divine intervention.
That's it.
No, you can't, it ain't going to be no corner means like you say, you're like, yeah, I stretch good enough, so I'm going to run faster than these girls. No, man.
I was on the low carb diet for the last 3 years. So I'm good. No, man. The Lord set it up that way. You know, it's gonna require divine intervention. Hey, you remember, you know how heavy that is? Remember we mentioned Peter. You know, Peter healed. They was healing people. You know, they was working works. But when he was locked up, remember when Herod stretched forth his hand, and that's his military. He stretched out his hand to vex the church. Peter couldn't get out of that. He couldn't use no powers. The Lord had to get him out of that, man. See, so hey, it is what it is. So again, read Isaiah 59 again.
This book of Isaiah 59:19. It says, "So shall I feel the name of the Lord from the west, and His glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard."
Power. The Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a what?
A standard against him.
Against them, man. He's going to combat you devils. All your technology, your weapons, the Lord is going to get you. The Lord is going to lift up a standard, and we're going to get away. That's why we pray that we numbered amongst the elect, man. See that? Because nobody else going to be able to withstand that. Only the elect. All right, so now that flood is dealing with Esau. So let's go back here. Start at the top again.
This Psalm 124:1. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side,
not your regiment, your diet, it was the Lord that was on our side, right? Go ahead.
Now may Israel say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us.
Ooh, that's that flood. That wave rose up against us. Go ahead.
Then they had swallowed us up quick.
They would have swallowed us up quick. Go ahead.
When their wrath.
Did not tell you.
Yep. It says, when their wrath.
Revelation the 12th chapter. That's why we know that this is that time. Because again, this man not going to go back to the drawing board and come up with another. Now you got another virus. The coronavirus. No, that ain't that. You know, the people going to say, man, fuck you, man. You had me going, man. I ain't going for that. You had me wearing a mask for the last 3 months. You know what I mean? This is it. This is it. See, go ahead.
It said when they had swallowed us up quick
Mm-hmm.
when their wrath was kindled against us.
Yeah.
Then the waters had overwhelmed us.
Then the water, the flood is overwhelming. Then the waters will have overwhelmed us, right? Go ahead.
The stream had gone over our soul.
Uh-huh.
Then the proud waters.
See, that lets you know they're dealing with Esau. And really, I mean, I say this as a man under the run of Trump. Because Trump is the proudest, man.
Yeah.
This is the height of that pride when the scriptures say before destruction, pride go before destruction. I believe through the spirit, this is that climax of pride. Remember a couple of years ago at Brussels? When he stormed his way through. That shit was crazy, man. That was prophets. He stormed his way through all the world leaders and he posed more stout than his fellows. That's the height of that pride. See, this is the proud water. See, go ahead.
It said, then the proud waters had gone over our soul. Blessed be the Lord, Yahawashi, who have not given us as prey to their teeth.
Mm-hmm. Meaning that's that same hunter. So the Lord haven't given us over to him. And again, we pray that we numbered amongst those men. You know? Right? Go ahead, you got more of that?
God, it says, our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers.
Now hold up. The scriptures say our soul is escaped, our life is escaped as a bird, right? Meaning ultimately, when a bird escapes from a snare, he don't walk off. He can, but you can't picture a bird walk. You know what the bird do? She fly away. That's what's gonna happen to us. We're gonna escape through the spirit, and then we're gonna ultimately ascend up into the chariots. That's gonna be the crowning achievement of the elect, to escape as a bird. You got something?
Quick preach at the back there. It's Psalms 55 and verse 6. It says, and I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest.
Hey, that's ultimately what's going to happen to us, man. Hey, but hold up. That's going to happen on low levels. You're going to have men that get away in strange ways, man. You don't ask us, you don't have a nigga, well, tell me how you going to, don't ask us, man. You said, just be there. Okay?
So you watch the movie.
Yeah, just watch the movie, man. That's it. Tune in, man. All right, go ahead.
It said our soul is.
But we know ultimately we're gonna actually take flight up into the chariots. That's gonna be the great escape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
It says our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken.
From the hunter. Go ahead.
The snare is broken and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Our power made heavens and earth. So we don't fear Esau. We don't fear. Now in the flesh you will get nervous. And it's understandable. Did not Yahawashi, Yahawashi asked for that cup to be passed because he was dealing with Esau. The devil, he knew what was ahead of him. They was going to crucify him and do all these things. He was in the flesh, man. Peter, right? He denied, the Lord in that instant. I'm just bringing up these examples because, you're going to be in the flesh. But ultimately, we know in our mind that our power that we serve, he created that devil. And not just that, he created the heavens and earth, things that's far beyond your comprehension, man. You got something?
Yeah, this is the book of Psalms 59 and verse 1. It says, deliver me from my enemies, O my power, defend me from them that rise up against me.
Yep, that's that rising tide. And that's what's gonna happen, man. That spirit of hatred that's been lying dormant in this devil. Okay? Yep, that's a beautiful precept from Brother Nathan Yahawashi. Psalm 118. The Lord is on my side. See, I would not fear. What can man do unto me? And that's another thing too, because we're not going to control our emotions either in that day. You're gonna feel a rejuvenated spirit. I mean, like the brother said, just sit back, watch the movie. The way the Lord going to work this thing out, man. Matter of fact, since the brother brought that out, give me 2nd Ezra. I think that's 16 and 7 and 4 or something like that.
Okay, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 74. It said, "Hear, O ye my beloved," said the Lord.
Right, and that's dealing with all of you out there whom the Lord have chose to come into this thing and to believe. You're the only ones that hear it. And that word "hear" right there really goes into understand. Because you got scoffers. Vocab alone hear what we're saying. He might be watching, you know what I mean? Or not just us per se, but anybody. You know, he watch, and he hear it. But do he understand? Nope. Only to understand would be the elect, man. See, read that again.
"Hear, O ye my beloved."
See, the beloved is the elect. Go ahead.
Said the Lord, "Behold, the days of trouble are at hand."
That's talking about right now. The days of trouble are at hand right now. Any day now. Any day now it can go down. Go ahead.
But I will deliver you from the
See, the
same.
Lord said, I will deliver you from the same. So the Lord gonna put the spirit on you, right? Which we get Revelation. Get that, that's the spirit.
Yep. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 3, and verse 10.
Which this eliminates any exit plans. No, you got it. I'm gonna pray, man. You know, you might have somebody to think like that. I'm gonna read the script. I'm gonna do videos. I'm gonna do 2-3 videos. You know, no. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be how about somebody else gonna deliver us. Go ahead.
God, this Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also would keep thee from the hour of temptation.
I also would keep thee. It's gonna be the Lord. So the Lord gonna put a spirit on us. Then you're gonna just feel rejuvenated. You're not gonna fear. You know, the Lord gonna work that work, man. See, it's not gonna be a formula we come up with.
That's it.
See that? All right, you go back. You got more of that?
I just finished it off.
Mm-hmm.
It said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience.
Right. That's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta stay in this. Hey, if you just bow out gracefully, you draw back from this thing, you just disqualified from the Lord delivery. But as long as you stay in there, now you qualify. It's a 50-50 chance. You can't beat those odds, man. You know? Go ahead.
It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
See that?
But the back say Ezra 16 and 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, said the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
The Lord said, I will deliver you from the same. See that? You got something?
Yeah, just going back to Psalm 59, verse 2, it says, deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from bloody men.
Yep. That's dealing with Esau. All right. So, you know, really what's going on right now and what's overwhelming the planet Earth, what have taken root on the planet Earth and is now having its free course, is the spirit of prophecy, man. Okay? The testimony of Yahawashi. And as we move closer, everything else is going to take a back seat, and this truth is going to be made more up close and personal. It's going to take center stage. All right? So you got something else? And so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakam, double honor to our teachers, the head apostles and elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the brothers laboring in his work. And as always, you believe it's the Akim and the Aqua that describes this truth as well. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA of Bible Ball.
Yep.